So, hello everybody, and welcome to my review of a film that is one of my personal favourites of all time, Star Trek First Contact. I remember watching it from a young age, and the Borg terrifying me. I love the cast in it and everything, and I'm going to go through what I think about this amazing film. Obviously there will be a spoiler warning. This will go into detail of what happened, and if you have not watched the film and you don't want it to be spoilt, then please get out of it. I do not want to be the one to spoil it, even though this was released ages ago. All the same, I don't want to spoil it, because it is a brilliant film and you should experience it before watching this in-depth review. So, yes, I'm going to show you the packaging, the cover and everything, so I will let that roll right now. So, going on to the packaging of this, yeah, this is the one I have. I'm going to go through it in a second, but I know that this is kind of the bog standard one, but I know that there's obviously a Blu-ray of this, there's the original release, there's the remastered edition, there's probably loads of versions of the VHS one, and then it comes in the Borg box set, and probably in a box set with all of the Star Trek movies, I believe. So, yeah, that's loads of ways that you can obtain this film rather than getting the one I've got. Just get into the one I have. We have, obviously, the front cover with Jean-Luc and Data with Borg up there. She looking very creepy, as usual. We have the Star Trek logo there with First Contact. Obviously, it's rated 12. Then we have a lineup of loads of Borg in the background, which does kind of give away that the film does feature the Borg, but, I mean, who wouldn't know at this point? On the spine we have Star Trek written there, with First Contact, DVD logo, plus another smaller icon of what is on the cover. And then we have rated 12 again, and then a film company on the bottom. On the back we have the synopsis, right there. We have a little quote from the film, we have the barcode, we have a nice little promo picture, there again another one, and another one, and we have some legal stuff there, and there. So, let's go on to the interior really quickly. So, then we have a DVD there which has some similar stuff written there, and then we have the leaflet which is identical to the DVD slip cover thing, and then on the back of this we have a scene selection thingy with more promo pictures on the right hand side of it. This is a one-page leaflet thing, just so that you're aware. So yes, there you go, there is the packaging that I have for my edition of Star Trek First Contact. So there you go. Let's get on with the review itself, the in-depth review. I hope you enjoy. So, moving into the in-depth review of the film itself, this film really upped the expectations of other Star Trek stuff to come after it, and to be honest, other sci-fi films to come after it, because the quality of this really does set the bar higher than the sci-fi genre had ever been before, and that I have to praise this story for. It's such a brilliant, such high quality. I just can't. It's just such good quality. I have to say that most of the characters were used well to fit the story. I mean, as of the crew, the Enterprise crew. That's what I'm talking about here. I think they were used to their potential, most of them. Obviously, Jean-Luc and Data were in the spotlight for the most of it. But as are, well, you know, the fan favourites, aren't they? For the Enterprise crew that are featured in this film, at least. Yeah. So I think that overall the casting, they were used well enough. They were all spread out into their own little quadrants to benefit the story as a whole. Does link back to the original Starfleet storyline, which is very, very good. Actually, it isn't just this standalone thing. It is connected to the overall Star Trek story, which is really good. And speaking of story, the this story is, you do need foreknowledge to watch this, because this is fit in around the Star Trek Next Generation storyline about seasons 6 and 7, I believe. And you will need some foreknowledge, because they did have a tough scrape with the Borg before, and in that Jean-Luc was assimilated, and since then the crew haven't really trusted his leadership because of him being part of the Borg hive mind kind of thing, and that does create a bit of tension, which is always good to see. Always good to see some character development in there. I think also the guest cast and the extra characters that were implemented into the story were done pretty well. The other woman that Jean-Luc and the expedition gang went to find, she was alright. She was used to her potential. She went onto the Enterprise and had to persuade Jean-Luc. That was interesting to see. See a stranger persuade him to evacuate the ship. I think the premise of the film was really well chosen as well. How the Borg are back, and it is a pretty typical sort of plot, pretty typical premise of a sci-fi film, because it's like, oh no, the Earth's been taken over by these alien robots. We need to go back in time to stop them before it happened. Go back to the future, Morty. Well chosen and consideration of the previous adventure with the Borg. I think it works well. I think it definitely works well in that respect. I think the cinematography and special effects, as I've said before, have really set the bar high for sci-fi films, and probably films in general for their time. Really set the bar higher than they'd ever been, which is brilliant actually. I really, really have to praise them on that. I've got to say though also, I have to praise it because the film is filled with character development from not just the people on the Enterprise, but also the side cast as well. There is some character development in there, as some of the characters went through a full character arc in one movie, which is impressive storytelling, I have to say. Really impressive storytelling. And you already know that I'm going to say this, the Borg are so threatening, and this is one of the first experiences of Star Trek, apparently. Apparently I watched it from a really young age, and I was terrified of the Borg. I can just remember them absolutely terrifying me, and when they assimilated Jean-Luc and they attacked the Enterprise, and it was just, oh, so good. The aim to assimilate everything living is really threatening as well, I've got to say. Really, really good. The Borg are kind of what the new Cybermen from Doctor Who wish they were. Just gotta say that. I think it's really cool how the stakes are risen higher in this one. The fact that Data was captured and then assimilated, except he wasn't, and he didn't betray the Enterprise, which is cool, and how Jean-Luc wanted to reason with Borg, but she weren't having none of it. And that goes back to character development yet again, with the Enterprise crew, you know, like under threat, not just all of the red shirts dying. And as for the scenes with action involved in it, it's very, very diverse. You get a bit of everything really. There's some spaceship battles, there's some space battles, if you know what I mean. There's also these ground battles going on here and there on different scenarios, and obviously there's these invasions, and so much diversity in the type of action in this film. And also going on to scenes, it's really well done actually, you know, it does create really, really well done suspense with the cinematography and the drama and just the thrill of and the terror of the Borg. Like, it just puts my teeth on end when I see some scenes like that. Just really, really like just foul, if you know what I mean. Just so good, so well done, so well executed in my opinion. Along with the special effects, the visual effects are done pretty well, and of course the scenery is stunning as usual with most Star Trek. Star Trek is praised usually praised for its amazing scenery. The idea of the Borg coming back is also fantastic. I love the idea of, well, not necessarily their revenge, but their kind of redemption from the defeat they had from the Enterprise. I love that. I love the Borg in this. The Borg are brilliant, as I keep saying. And along with some of the stuff the Borg does as well, because some of the stuff is really dark, really creepy, and very tense. So in conclusion to all of these points I've given out, I have to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. It's just one of the best films I've ever seen. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't watched this film and you're a Star Trek fan, or if you're a sci-fi fan, what are you doing with your life? A film you must see. So yes, Star Trek First Contact. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope this gave you some insight onto it if you've already seen it and you want me to shed more light onto it. There you go. If you haven't watched it and you just got spoilt loads of plot lines but you don't mind, well, I hope I persuaded you to watch it, even though I don't know why you'd watch this review without watching the movie, because like I said, it's an in-depth one. But either way, it's a film you definitely worth watching. Definitely worth watching. Yeah? Really good.